Cool. All right. As usual, check these little stream health. Make sure
make sure
everybody's muted so I don't have noises.
All right. So we are, I believe we're live.
Yes, it looks like it.
I hope I'm live. Ready to preview. Oh, I haven't previewed. Sure, you want to preview this live event? Sure, why not?
Why not?
Awesome. So Lars wants me to clap. Yeah, Lars, I know. I haven't done the claps in the video, but I messed my wrist up, guys. So
what did you do?
I was working out. It's not okay. It's more than that. I actually had a wrist injury from a while ago, from many years ago. They told me it was basically one of those things that you can't really heal. You just gotta chill. It's like a tendinitis type thing.
I have something similar.
So I was just an idiot, and I was just not 4 years past, you're like, I'm fine, and you're not, because you don't listen to your doctors. So
yep.
What's going on, everybody? So we have a special guest today. We have Danny Crypto99 and the, as always, Crypto Candor. She's
tried and true.
Yeah. So
what's up, guys?
Not too much. How is everybody's? How's everybody going? Working your right hand too hard. Actually, it's my left hand, but it's flipped. It's flipped on the screen for you guys. Yeah, I get it though. That was a funny joke, but this is my left hand. Okay.
Idiots.
Hey, I mean, what are you gonna do? What's up, Daz Fire? Oh, it's been a while.
I've got Daz in mine too. She's all over the place.
She's just hopping back and forth. All right, cool. So I thought it was really awesome to have an opportunity to have Danny from Crypto99 join the live stream for the simple fact that I'm pretty impressed with, you actually do TA. You look at charts and stuff, which
I do.
Yeah. So do you want to kind of start out with that? What do you think about what do you think about what's going on, man? Not to put all the pressure on you, but
no. Technically, this makes like no sense. I know that's like a weird thing to say, but it's 4 days ago, without getting too far into it with no charts, there was a setup that looked short-term bullish, long-term bearish. So I'm still on the 5,200 number. I'm sticking to my guns until it actually I get yelled at by 200 people. Then when that happens, I'm done.
Sell. I'm selling right now.
Yeah, right. Panic sell.
This is not investment advice. This is not meant to be blah blah blah. Disclaimer.
Yes. Yeah, the usual.
Nothing on our channels is ever financial advice, and if people don't realize that by now, I don't clearly. If we could, if we had crystal balls, we'd all be millionaires, and I probably wouldn't be here. I probably would be here actually, but wouldn't. So.
Yeah, no. So I liked that you do TA because obviously most of the people that we've kind of done a collaboration with isn't something that has really been talked about on the channel, because a lot of us do just like research or news or ICO stuff. So it's cool that there's that aspect. When I first got into crypto, I actually, at first I thought I was going to mine, and then I learned very quickly that was not profitable as far as what I was looking to invest. And then I started looking into trading, and there was like a short period of time where I was trading, doing margin trading, teaching myself like technical analysis. I ended up not turning out to be the best trader, so I just gave it up and started doing like long-term buy and hold investments. So I commend you, because that stuff's not easy.
It's you have to be very unemotional.
Yeah.
To do it.
Which I'm not.
But
so
I'm like cold-hearted, man. I'm telling you.
But that's good though, because then that must mean that you're at least halfway decent.
Yeah, I'm very conservative. So like I have a built-in buffer to where if the market looks like crap or I'm not certain, I don't even mess with it. I just hang out.
Well, that's good though.
I'm much more on the conservative side than people would probably like me to be, but whatever. I mean, it works for me, so why not?
I definitely did a whole lot of nothing. I definitely didn't touch much trading at all. I feel like if you look at the way that Bitcoin moves, it just drags everything along with it. So if you're in a good project, it's a legit project, and it's down because the market's down, and you didn't get a chance to sell at a higher number, just hold it, man. Because once Bitcoin goes back up, everything goes up anyway. So it's not like, you don't really lose the tokens. You lose the dollar value.
No.
Yeah, I worry when I lose the Bitcoin value. That bothers me. Like if I'm looking at my portfolio and I'm down in dollars, I don't really care because I'm in it for the long run. But if I'm down in Bitcoin, then I kind of feel like, damn, I should have just held Bitcoin. So that's the only thing that sucks.
Yeah, right.
A lot of people get caught up on that. They get looking at the dollar value in their Binance account instead of looking at, oh, well, I have, let's just say 0.2 Bitcoin and I used to have 0.18. Well, you're winning in the long run. Just ignore the little dollar sign or the yen sign or whatever other sign you have in finance.
Yeah, no, yeah. I mean, you're right. Sometimes it stinks to look at your altcoins and see, okay, well, if I'm down in USD, whatever, but I'm down in Bitcoin, so I'm like double losing at this point.
Yeah, I've been double losing before. It's not fun.
No, it's not fun at all.
Not fun.
Oh yeah. So I mean, how many people I have in here? 31. All right, I'll wait till a little bit later. I have this fancy little wallet that I'm going to be doing a giveaway for. I've had a raffle going for the last week. So the backstory behind this, just in case anybody's worried, because it's not wrapped in plastic, but I promise it's brand new and I've literally never even opened the box. What happened was Cool Wallet sent me one to review and they accidentally sent it to Australia. And so they had to send me a second because the first one never showed up. And so the second one came, I did the review, and then this one showed up like last week. So I contacted them and I'm like, well, I got it in the mail. Do you want me to send it back to you guys, or what do you want me to do with it? And they're like, well, what do you want to do? I'm like, I don't know. I could do a giveaway on my channel. And they're like, yeah, do that. So it is brand new, although the box has no plastic wrap on it. But I just wanted to clarify for people. So at some point this evening, the stream, I will be doing a screen share and raffling that bad boy off.
Very nice. So is that going to be only on your side? Or are you going to take all of our viewers, or how does that go?
It's whoever entered my raffle in the last week. I think I had 118 entrants.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I've been tweeting all the raffle copter link and stuff like that. So we will see what happens. I told everybody they don't have to be on the live stream to get it, but I have to hear from them within 24 hours so I can ship it out, or else I'll just re-raffle it.
Cool. Yeah, I noticed you were doing a lot of those reviews lately. That's really awesome. I want to branch out too and do a little bit more, but it gets so busy over here, between the the news, the interviews, the reviews. I mean, you know how it goes. What people see a video and it's really, a 20-minute video probably took you like 4 hours to actually do. So
much behind the scenes. And there's a lot of stuff. Like I like doing the wallet unboxing and stuff, and I like doing the ICOs, but I try to, I've got like 5 or 6 like different kinds of videos I do now. So I try to do like one and then go into the next category and then go to the next category so it doesn't get redundant, but it's exhausting.
Yeah, absolutely.
Very.
To answer somebody real quick on my end, Andrew, I didn't have a chance to read the Snowflake Avalanche yet. Super busy, but I'm looking forward to it. So anyway, guys, by the way, Danny, he was at the Blockchain Connect conference. I was there. And I saw him, but we didn't actually have an opportunity to get up with each other, which was crazy. But we were in the same place for 2 days straight. So, Danny, by the way, totally jealous of your NKN t-shirt. Can I just say that?
Oh, yeah. Hey, there you go, guys.
I did not get...
repping it.
I was not able to get one. So, unfortunately, every time I go, they're already down to like the triple XL and they don't fit me. So, I don't know. But
we got to get them early.
So what did you I'm sorry, Candor, you weren't there, but Danny, what did you like about the conference? What was your what was your big takeaway? Was there anything that you liked, or?
Yeah, I thought the quality of the projects that were there was really good.
Mm-hmm.
That's something that like ICOs have gotten a pretty bad rap over the last 6 months for most of them being scams, but I thought there were some pretty good projects, and a lot of them were data driven, which I thought was very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Like there was the one it wasn't Health Shares, it was like MetaBlock or something like that, but it was about all your health data, and then NKN was about just data sharing in general. You got extra data, you can put it on the blockchain and sell it. Like it was all data driven, which I thought was pretty interesting, and I did not expect that, to be honest.
Oh, definitely. I have to say, and no offense to Consensus, but the quality of projects at this conference were, in my opinion, way better than some of the projects at Consensus. Not all of them, but some of them. So
probably because there's less hype and it's more about the fundamentals of the projects versus people go to Consensus because they know they're going to get seen and they want to be there for the sole purpose of being there. But other events, maybe because they're a little bit smaller and they're less hyped, just projects that are looking to network actually go. And that's probably why you get better quality stuff.
Yeah.
I'm just assuming.
Mm-hmm. Actually, the one thing I wanted to say too, I didn't realize this in my video when I did the interview with NKN. I had a lot of people saying that they prefer Substratum over NKN. I don't think that they're competing as far as what they're actually doing use case. I think Substratum is more concerned with the actual like almost like not like domain, but the hosting of the actual web itself. Whereas NKN is more just sharing your network. For example, I have a Verizon phone and you have a T-Mobile or something, and you don't have good service. You're trying to upload a video, and then essentially you could just borrow my network, in exchange for token.
Okay, yeah, that's different from what Substratum's doing.
So like a lot of people were kind of like giving it like negative comments, and I'm like, they're not competing. You can actually have NKN and Substratum. They're both legitimate.
People
projects,
also need to realize that like this is an enormous space, and there is room for a lot of different projects, and there's going to be different iterations of things, and maybe not all of them will survive, but it's not to say that one's necessarily better than the other. But yeah, and that happens a lot. There's a lot of inconsistent comparison with projects, I've noticed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
My favorite project's Walton, and everyone says, "Oh, there's already 3 other supply chain projects." Like,
I just did a supply chain comparison video, and they all are different. They're all working on different specific things. So people just got to do a little research, and they'll figure that out.
For sure.
I love Walton too, actually. Unfortunately, I've been very transparent about my Walton play. I actually sold my Walton, but I just did so well on it. I bought it at $1.66 and I sold it at like $10.20. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, and it's not that I don't love Walton. I cover Walton all the time. Walton is one of my favorite projects. I just don't own any because it's just a really good opportunity. So,
I got it shoved away in cold storage.
Do you have a master node, or you should try to get one if you can?
I need to. I want to.
It's a little. Hey, now's the time to accumulate, man.
Yeah.
If you're trying to get master,
buy the dip.
So yeah, I like all these projects. I think they're all going to do very well. The one project that I've been a little actually kind of upset with what happened recently was Morph. If you saw what happened with their tokens, they had that issue where there was an error with the code and somebody was able to mint 80 million of them, basically totally crashing the market. And I feel so bad, especially for the CEO, Danny. He's such a good guy. He's got such a big heart. And, you think about all the people that lost money, and also just think about this guy, and his baby, his project, So I really do hope that they can figure that out and do it in a way that maybe the investors can somehow make a gain out of it, because it's really unfortunate. So.
Yeah, that sucks.
I didn't hear about that, but Danny, to speak to your point about going to that conference and being surprised how much of them were data based or surrounding data. So many of the ICOs that have been coming out recently have all been very much like big data or sharing data or decentralizing data. And I'm actually reviewing DX Chain probably this week. And that's another one. And, there's like, I was reading an article, and I've said this before on the channel too, that in like 2017, like right near the end of 2017, they said data surpassed oil as the most sought after commodity. So it's really not that big of a surprise now that people are going to start trying to utilize the blockchain for that. But it is pretty crazy to see like the progression. It was all seemingly like all platforms last year, and now it's like all data this year. Which is pretty cool.
It's nuts.
Absolutely.
It's nuts.
One of the really cool ones too was Marconi. They're dealing with the Ethernet layer. That's pretty interesting, because that's like that's another one that people thought that was competing with NKN, and they're dealing with there's so many different layers to all these different projects and what they're able to do. So Marconi's definitely one. Block Cloud, I really like what Block Cloud was doing. They were definitely doing some cool stuff as well. I got to meet up with some old favorites there too. Deep Brain Chain, A Chain was there. There's just the good old favorites. So yeah, that was really cool. I had a great time. I don't know. I got to go to Dahong Fei had a birthday party. Actually, he had the can.
That's awesome.
I saw that picture. I saw that picture on Twitter.
Well, that was actually the night before, and then the next night they had another at a house that we went to. So that was really cool. I mean, I literally went from meeting Dahong Fei and Jun Lee for the first time to actually being at like a house party with them. It was crazy. I didn't take any.
That's awesome.
I didn't take any pictures out of like respect. I didn't want to be intrusive or anything, but it was really cool. So.
No, that's cool.
That is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Not everybody can say that they've done that.
No, that ontology mainnet launch was awesome.
No, definitely.
I thought that was pretty cool.
I was shocked to see how they had all the dApps lined up ready to go too. I mean, they're gearing. I mean, they're serious. They're serious, man. I definitely think ontology is going to have a really when the bull comes back eventually. I think Ontology is
Yeah.
going to do really well. I actually think Neo is going to, for a while, I was kind of thinking that people forgot about Neo, but now that they have their updated, they have I think it's white paper 3.0, a whole slew of stuff. I can't even remember it. I'm actually thinking about doing a full-fledged video on it because they got like 6 brand new features coming out. They have an interoperability feature coming out. So they're definitely doing it. Yeah.
I'm actually pretty upset because I told Twitter that I had put in buy orders for Neo and Cardano or ADA like 2 days ago when the market dipped really hard. And I put it a little bit lower than where it was at, thinking it would hit overnight, and it didn't. The price, everything went up overnight. And I woke up and I was like, no. But I still have those buy orders in there because I figured it'll probably drop down again.
Leave them, because I had a buy order for 6,000 on Bitcoin, and it was like 6,400 or so dip in April, and everybody told me, you're stupid, this is the bottom, you're an idiot, and I just left it, and it triggered like whenever we dipped that little below 6. I'm sitting there pumping my fist. I wanted to go on an FU rampage, but I didn't.
Yeah.
So I just let it slide.
Crypto is unfortunately one of those places where you're always going to have criticism. Somebody's always smarter than you. I've just, even with, it just gets to a point where you just got to do what you got to do. And, basically you literally spin the wheel, you throw a dart. If you're right, you're a hero. If you're not, you're an idiot, and it's just like, guys, especially.
Or a shill.
Well, I'm according to everybody, I'm a shill anyway. But the truth is like, I actually like disclose what I own and what I'm invested in and what I do. So at least I'm a transparent shill. Like, I told you that I own Icon and I sold Walton. Like, I don't know how to be more transparent than that.
Yeah, I'm pretty transparent myself, and people still, I get comments all the time. Is this a paid for video? Is this a sponsored video? I'm like, did I say it was sponsored in the beginning? No. So it's not sponsored. Like, I'm not trying to hide anything from anybody.
I think people need to just like chill out with the sponsored video content as far as getting, if a channel wants to do sponsored content, there's ads before radio shows. It's an ad, right? And just because I hear somebody telling me to go buy Coca-Cola or go buy a particular shoe company, you don't have to do that. You know what I mean? So it's, I don't know. I think to each his own. I mean, I don't do the sponsored content myself, but that's just my situation. You know what I mean? I just try to invest. I try to invest and I try to get as lucky as possible. And, I ride the waves with the market. So we are where we are, and it sucks, but any thoughts on Icon? Yeah, Mark. I love Icon. I thought
Icon's gonna take over the world.
I figured everybody knew that on the channel. So still totally bullish on Elastos. That's still one of my big ones.
Yeah, I'm getting a lot of Elastos comments on my end too. Everybody's like, do a passive shill for Elastos. Just passively shill it, please.
The shill show. We're now
shill
doing
show.
So we got Walton in the house. We got Icon in the house, and I don't know, Candor, you're pretty well-rounded. I feel like you have a nice, well-rounded portfolio. Me, I just go like 90% into one coin because I get so excited, and then I'm like.
That's how I was when I started, and the problem that I'm so impulsive as a person, like I like instant gratification, and so what happened would be, so I would do a bunch of research on a project, like that's it, I want to buy it, and instead of like waiting and like learning the prices and like seeing what's low, what's high, and like being patient, I just friggin' buy it, and then the price would dip like 3 days later. I'm like, are you kidding me? But it's because I was impatient. So I've gotten better at waiting. So the last time I picked up Icon and VeChain and Elastos, the price was significantly lower than it had been. So I feel kind of proud of myself. And I'm trying to get more Neo because I like the idea that in theory I could benefit from airdrops in the future. So
Daz Fire said not to call a girl rounded. I think I meant well-rounded portfolio, to clarify.
I think that's what you said though.
Oh, all right. Well, I didn't mean that. I did not mean that Candor is round. I meant to say she has a well-rounded portfolio.
Yeah, so. I picked up on it. That was good though. Nice, Daz. Nice. I like her headset.
Oh my gosh, that's funny.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to get controversial for a second and talk about Ripple.
Shoot.
I get crushed by people in Facebook, Discord, everywhere. It's the select Ripple fanboys. When I ever say Ripple is going to be classified as security, it's like they take Thor's hammer and try to rip my house down. So I want to know your thoughts on Ripple, because I think it's going to be a security. I think it's just a matter of time when they classify it. Like, they came out and said it was being classified as security was almost solely based on decentralization. Ripple's the opposite of that. So I'm curious what your both of your thoughts are on Ripple. after their rebrand.
So
if you didn't know it was Ripple.
Yeah, that was, I don't know what the hell that was, but I did a comparison video on that and Stellar, and I tried to be pretty, now I'm biased, but I think I guess I was not as non-biased as I thought, because people called me out in the comments saying like, well, obviously you're a Stellar Lumens fan. And I get it. Everybody's got their thing. And, Ripple obviously is a crypto, but it's not what people get into crypto for. Like, I don't see it as a decentralized project. I see that it has its use cases. I think that there's a little bit, maybe not dishonesty within the team, but like a lack of education as far as the community goes, and people liking Ripple, not understanding the difference between Ripple Labs and XRP, which I think is a very big distinction, which most people don't understand. As far as being a security, I mean, if decentralization is the defining factor, then it's definitely going to be a security, because it's the furthest thing. That Ripple Labs owns like 65% of the XRP in circulation.
Yep.
So, no, I mean, yeah, I don't know. Nobody likes when I talk about it either, because I try to avoid like tweeting about it, because then, like you said, I just get like flamed with comments. But
yeah, I usually just don't talk about it. So
yeah.
I've actually taken a new stance. Instead of talking about coins that I don't have agreements with or I don't like, etc., I just don't even talk about them. That way it's not controversial. Unfortunately, sometimes you do have to bring up Ripple. I mean, it's kind of an ongoing thing. I would say that most likely, but then again, who am I? I don't know. I would assume it would be classified as a security, but let's be real. If they really want to clamp down the hammer, I would say a lot of these are going to be securities. I would say the majority would be according to the actual definition. So, I mean,
yeah,
for the most part,
most don't pass the Howey test.
Yeah, exactly. I actually did a thing on my video today where instead of doing ICOs, they're now doing these STOs, which are actually security traded. What is it? I don't know. Whatever. But yeah, so it looks like they might be moving to that, where they're just going to move just to accredited investors. And, in that particular case with the scooter company, they're offering dividends and things of that nature, which is funny because I feel like after all things were said and done, we're kind of just molding this back into the traditional model that we're used to anyway, right? Like the whole decentralized concept seems to be going to the wayside, and we're just turning it all into not centralization, but it's like it's starting to look a lot like traditional stocks now, essentially, is what you're trying to do. But the one thing that I do see as once they do this is these exchanges that are going to be coming out that are going to be security token focused, because there are some that are preparing right now to set up. Mm-hmm. They're going to do very well when they do come out. I would say so.
Well, that's like Polymath. Isn't Polymath basically trying to make a way for people to make ICOs in a regulated fashion if they fall under security categorization? I think that's what they're doing. Because I remember my friends at Crypto Basic Pod, who I just did a video with on Friday, they had just done a review of Polymath, and I listened to like the first half, but I didn't finish it. And once something starts talking about like regulation and securities and following guidelines, I get very bored because it's not interesting. But I was surprised to see that that's the purpose of the project, because like you said, Kyle, it kind of feels like we're almost circling back to the thing that we were trying to avoid in the first place.
Exactly. There's definitely. Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead. No, go ahead.
No.
You're on a roll.
They hear me talk all the time, man. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say there's projects that are actually gonna do IPOs, like traditional IPOs now, instead of tokenizing anything. They're blockchain related projects, and instead of kind of forcing a token, they're just gonna do a straight up IPO, and they're doing like seed rounds and then an A round and a B round, and they're done. So that scares me. When I start seeing that, I'm like, God, really? We already have this. What's special about this?
Yeah, and then
for the average guy.
And then on top of that, even worse, you've seen Loom Network, and they're having one of their dApps come out, not the Crypto Zombies one, it was a different one, and they were just doing a GoFundMe, basically. Yeah, like they were just like, we're just gonna do like a GoFundMe. We're not even gonna do an ICO because we just don't even feel like dealing with that whole space right now. So.
P.S. Mav from Ready Set Crypto's in my chat, and he says hi.
Oh, hey Mav. I feel like all the celebrities always go to Candor's chat.
Well, because I know that I type and I respond. So I talk to you guys, but I'm also holding conversations with them.
I'm trying to get better at that, but it's difficult. I got, my whole multitasking thing. I'm not exactly.
Yeah, no, I'm good at multitasking. That's not your strength, and that's okay. But it's in speaking about like things that sometimes seeing projects is like, well, we already have this. Like, what do we need it for? So somebody actually came into my Discord earlier today and left me some ICO that they wanted me to look at. It was basically like Airbnb on the blockchain. And like, I understand that like everybody's pro blockchain and it's really cool tech and it can definitely help to like remove middlemen for things. But I also don't think that everything needs to be freaking tokenized and put on a blockchain. I think it's starting to get like,
is it Tripio?
It's something close to that. I think
they were at that conference. Kyle,
I don't know. I just feel like we're like over blockchaining things.
Yeah, that's possible.
Yeah,
I don't know. I could be wrong.
Yeah,
I'm not a professional, obviously, but
I mean, I know last time we had the chat with Elio, he was pretty much convinced that we're going to tokenize everything. So
yeah.
I mean, Jun Lee, even from Ontology, he was making a little bit of not a joke, but he was saying like, tokenize this chair, tokenize this table. I mean, you could literally represent everything with a token if you really wanted to. You just have to think about the use case of it. And the thing with crypto is right now we're still in that investor type mindset where we're looking at these as investments. We're not really looking at them as, it's almost like sometimes I think the tokens would make more sense if they weren't traded. If they were just placeholders that represented something and they had the value of simply what the value of that was. You know what I'm saying? So that's like the one thing about the ERC 721s. I like that concept. I like the idea of I could give you ownership. Like, for example, you guys know that I buy and sell used records and posters on the side. That's like my side gig. And that's how I get an income. So, essentially I could send this to you, but then you could have that one token that would represent whatever the value of that is. That makes sense to me. But when you start thinking about tokenizing everything, it just starts looking like a coupon to me, really. It starts looking like frequent flyer miles. It doesn't, so.
But that's cool because that's like the difference between like fungible and infungible assets, right? Like, so fungible things being able to be transparent, whereas infungible is basically you have ownership of it and it's not like one thing is not like the other, right? Isn't that the difference? I'm asking because I genuinely don't know.
Basically, yeah. Okay. Yeah, and it's short of it, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I actually don't know much about the more complex tokens on the Ethereum network. I only have really experience with the ERC20s and have been meaning to do some research and figure out like what the other ones are because I've been seeing a lot of it come up more. It's like less ERC20s, more whatever the other ones are, which I'm interested in reading about. Yeah.
Yeah. I've seen a lot of the 223s. Well, people were supposed to are going to those more than the 20s supposedly in the next 6-8 months, but
well, it's cool because they have like more advanced features and more purposes than just kind of being like essentially this like random token, which I mean, I have an ERC20 token. I made Candor coin as a joke. You could tip in my Discord with it. So that's a purpose, I guess.
Oh man, that's funny. Well, all you got to do now is make an announcement of an announcement of an announcement and your coin will triple in value. So
correct.
That's all you got to do.
That's it. That's the key to success these days.
The Tron model.
At first I thought that was kind of ridiculous, but then I thought to myself, maybe that's actually incredibly clever because think about the value. Yeah. Think about the value of a TRX token right now. Think about how much think about what you could. So like, it's funny. It's like, in a way, that kind of reminds me of that Richard Branson fake it till you make it, right? So let's just pump our coin all the way up to the top 10. Now we actually are really rich, and now we can use all this money to actually create the project that we promised the whole time. So
I know.
It's a little backwards, but
I mean, he's obviously doing something right.
Yeah, I know. They made it to top 10 pre-Tron dogs. Think about that.
That's crazy.
They were top 10 before Tron dogs existed.
It's crazy.
Which doesn't even matter about it.
Well, that's like, don't get me wrong. Like, everybody knows that I absolutely love Cardano. And like, obviously, because I talked to Hoskinson on my channel and ADA is one of my like long-term holds. But I think that it's kind of a little ridiculous market value where it is because it doesn't really do much right now. And that's not like to hate on the project because I love the project and I think in the future it will, but it's really hard to compare something like that to Ethereum, which is doing stuff and has working products and is actively working on scaling solutions and like all this other stuff. I just don't think it's really comparable. But the same thing with like Tron. It's just why is it where it is on the top 10 or whatever?
I don't know. I mean, Tron they were going back and forth on Twitter. Charles Hoskinson was talking to Justin Sun. He was telling him to try using I think it was the Mantis instead of what he was using, and they were joking back and forth. So it looks like they're doing well. I don't know. Tron kind of is one of those projects where it was a little confusing in the beginning. If they actually can do what they say they're going to do, it's kind of like the whole EOS thing. They had a $4 billion ICO, right? Well, Tron was able to become basically a top, I think, are they in the top 10 right now? They are, right? They're like,
I think they are the top 10. That's why I said top 10 maybe, because I actually wasn't sure.
I think they edged out Tether.
Oh yeah, well, that's ridiculous.
I can't wait.
High growth model.
So guys, did you hear this joke? It was so funny. So somebody, you know how there's this big thing about, well, what's behind Tether? What is it backed by real dollars? Is it not? Well, I read online and it was like, even if Tether is backed by real dollars, by US dollars, it still really isn't backed by anything. So what are we fighting over this for regardless? I just thought
I was telling Kyle before we streamed, I'm going on vacation in 3 weeks. And so I've been trying to, like, on the weekends, I've been trying to record like a video so that I have a couple extra videos like lined up to still release stuff when I'm on vacation. And one of the ones that I recorded recently is like a 101 on stable coins, what they are, why Tether is dangerous, what the background history is behind it. Because when I got into this, I didn't know. I was putting things in and out of Tether all the time. And then somebody's like, you really need to understand that, like, they're not transparent and they're not getting audited. So after that, I was like, okay, I'm not going to mess with this. But I see people talking about it all the time. And I'm like, it was like rated like the third highest cryptocurrency when I was writing the article behind freaking Ethereum. Like, what happens if that crashes and it says that it doesn't have the funds to back it? That's a serious catastrophe as far as our market cap goes.
It's Mt. Gox 2.0 is what that would be.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that would not, because you're right. It's the third highest cryptocurrency by daily volume.
Trading volume.
It's ahead of everything. So it's
insane.
Yeah, that would not be good. And they supposedly had that the law firm that said, "Oh, yep, it's backed." Well, that's or could not be third party.
That was a law firm, not an accounting foundation. So like it's not an audit. They said, okay, in this exact moment on that one day, Tether may have held close to enough to cover it. Okay, but that doesn't mean anything. And on top of it, it wasn't a third party that just came in and did it. Tether hired them. So it was a conflict of interest. The whole thing, and the only reason I know any of this is because I did the research on the video, but it's silly for people to think that I don't know. To me, I think it's ridiculous. I genuinely don't think that they have the money to back it.
I've been nervous about Tether for a while. I mean, I've used it, but I'm almost more apt to use if I'm going to do any switching in and out of the market. I'm almost more apt to use dollar wallet on Coinbase and just subject myself to the taxes rather than risk losing everything if Tether crashes.
Yeah, because you never know. So, I mean, worst case scenario.
Yeah, I mean, the dollar could crash, but I think that's a less chance than Tether crashing.
I'd say so. I said that's fair.
Unless you ask John McAfee, then he thinks that the dollar is going to crash. So
that guy's interesting.
He blocked me on Twitter. He doesn't like me.
He blocked you on Twitter? Dude, I'm jealous. That means you've like made it if he blocked you.
I hung my hat on that. That was back when I had like 600 or 700 subscribers. That's back in like
wow.
Yo, man, he didn't like me. I had like 18 people follow me on Twitter and he got mad, so whatever.
Yeah. That's crazy, man. I mean, technically the dollar does crash. It crashes by 2% annually, but no one really notices until like 30 years go by, and then you go to sell your house and realize that due to inflation you're actually under on it because the value, so it's all a big whatever. So personally for me, that's why I'm all in crypto. I still like Bitcoin because we look at it on a day-to-day basis and it's like, "Oh my god, I'm down 68%." It's like, yeah, but look at the long term. If you look at the way that Bitcoin moves, it does this systematically over and over and over again. So for me personally, I would rather, because the thing is like, I don't have money in crypto that I have to take out right now. And if people do have that type of money in crypto, that's the time when it gets really serious. And that's when I would say, don't do that. Don't put everything you have into it. You know what I'm saying? Like if you have to pay bills and stuff, keep that money out. But I always look at this long term, and it's funny because I go to all these conferences. The one coin that everyone says, Bitcoin. Bitcoin, Bitcoin, Bitcoin. They're not. That's the only one that no one's worried about. Even Ethereum, it's like, well, some other token or something, platform, smart contract thing might come along. Bitcoin, it'll be fine. Like literally. So, if anybody's freaked out right now, just buy Bitcoin, call it a day. Come back and like.
I mean, it is the tried and true. I just saw a post on, I don't know, if it's on Reddit or something, and it was like, since Bitcoin started in, 2008, it's been like active or up and effective for 99.998% of the time. Like there's no we don't see consistency like that in other things. I mean, it is, it definitely is secure. And I agree. The price might be volatile, but it's definitely the safest as far as long-term holding, I think, if you just want to be conservative.
I also just like owning my own stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, like when you put your money in a bank, where is that money really? It's just, I mean, that is truly an imaginary number on a screen. At least Bitcoin is verifiable. I can go on the ledger. I can see my transaction. I own that little piece of the code that represents my specific amount. You know, like that's real. To me, that's more real. So
very much so. I talk about that all the time. People are all mad about cryptocurrency crashing, and we all have friends that don't know what Bitcoin is or don't know what blockchain is, and they always are, I'm not convinced it's real. Well, it's probably real because the dollar is not real. It hasn't been real for 40 years. So
the dollar has not been real for 40 years. Guys, smash up the likes. The dollar is not real. Smash up the likes for the dollar is not real.
It's funny you say that because when I started getting into cryptocurrencies, I was like, I'm going to make a channel. I'm going to do all these things. And I told my boyfriend, and I was like sitting next to him, like telling him about what cryptocurrency was, like cringing, waiting for him to tell me I was crazy. And he goes, well, actually, that kind of makes a lot of sense because nothing's backing the US dollar anyway. So, hey, why not? Why don't we look into it? And I was like, oh, that was not the response I was expecting. But all right, cool, let's do it. And that was that's pretty much it. So, but it's good to have, it's important to understand that because I don't think the average person, I think most people think that the dollar is still backed by gold. I genuinely do think that that's still a common misconception.
Yeah, my dad is still
100% agree.
My dad is still confused about that. He's like, yeah, but the dollar's backed by gold. I'm like, yeah, not since like Nixon said it wasn't.
Yeah.
So that was before I was even born.
Yeah. It's been a long time.
It's been a bit. It's been a minute.
Well, I hope everyone's hanging really well, right? You know, dealing with this very well. I know it can be tough. I've definitely read a lot of the sentiments, especially in my comments. But I have to say, shout out to the OGs and everyone that keeps coming back to these live streams. Everybody that's watching right now, you guys are awesome. Just want to say thank you. This is my way of smashing up the reverse likes. These are like reverse likes because, you know, without the community.
Yeah, no, I'm appreciative too. I love these chats where we have all these people come on, and it's like, you know, it's very humbling to have these channels and talk and have people want to sit here and BS with us. You know, it's pretty cool. So, you know, as usual, guys, I'm super appreciative of all the support always.
Yeah, man, it's as hard as it is for us to sometimes find quality content when the market's like this. I know it's 5 times as hard for you to stay engaged as a viewer. So I say this all the time. Like, I'm really appreciative for whoever's like so the OGs. If you made it from January to now, you are a straight up thug because that's not easy to do if you got in then and you're down 70%.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah. I actually just did a interview with a project called Tenzorum, and they're dealing with private key management because that's one of the biggest issues is that people don't really, I mean, aside from the fact that the markets went down, people still think this is too complicated. Like, I know everybody watching right now is like, this is so easy. We do it every day. Not for regular people. I was riding in my Uber actually from the conference talking to the Uber driver. And he was just telling me, you know, he said, I think Bitcoin is the future, flat out. He said it. But he was like, it's just too complicated. I can't figure out how to buy on Coinbase. And then he was like, I got to send it to HADAX. And then I got to send it to Binance. And then I got to send it to my wallet, but I don't know which wallet to use. And then how do I track it? I have to download an app. So these are the issues that we're seeing. And I think that the big, well, what do you guys think? Let me ask you, because I'm just rambling on here. What is everybody in the chat, everyone in right now, what do you guys think is the catalyst? What do you think we need right now? What do you think would be that one thing to really give this a push, in your opinion?
Excellent question. I don't know, because when my brother asked me, he had Bitcoin and he wanted to cash out of it. And I had to, you know, obviously everybody knows I started like 2 years ago, and I didn't even know what a wallet was. My brother had to walk me through setting up a wallet on Coinbase because I had no idea. And so he called me like last week actually and was like, all right, I want you to help me get out of my Bitcoin and get into USD. So I showed him how to go on GDAX and trade and get the money back to avoid the fees and all this other stuff. And it's like, he knows what he's doing. He's relatively savvy when it comes to tech stuff. And he was like, are you sure this is right? Like this, what's this wallet address? Like, this is crazy. And it is intimidating to not, you know, there's no security. There's no like insurance. There's no nothing. You're just kind of out here figuring it out. I don't know. Ease of use, and I don't know. That's to me what would be the most important thing to make it less scary for people.
I think about, so do either of you invest in the stock market at all?
No.
Or have you?
No.
Never.
Okay. this is a really good parallel. This is why we need Bitcoin ETF or crypto ETFs and some sort of regulated fund.
Yeah.
Because 90% of the people, or maybe not 90, but the vast majority are in some form of the stock market, mutual fund, whatever, but they're not online trading it and cashing it out. They just send it to a manager and he does it. So if we could have that ease of use in cryptocurrency, that would be the catalyst. Because people don't want to learn how to trade stocks and the fees and all kind of stuff on that either. They don't want to do that for cryptocurrency. They don't have time or the wherewithal to do it. So they just want to send it to somebody and go on with their life. If they could do that, that would be what we need, in my opinion.
I think it just has to look more like what we're already used to. We just have to get the whole space looking like what we're used to. You shouldn't have to go through 18 different steps to figure out how to do stuff that you're already used to doing. You know, if I can go on my PayPal or I can go on a bank app or let's take it even somewhere else like social, like Snapchat or something. If that's really easy for me, why am I going to go through these extra steps, all these complicated things just because, oh, my security. You know, the truth is people don't really care about their security until their specific security is actually threatened. You know, you could hear about it happening to somebody else. I mean, it's like with anything, right? Like anything. If it's not happening to you, it doesn't matter. And the problem is like, when's the best time, you know, to buy a plunger, right? When the toilet's clogged? No, you should have had that before. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So unfortunately, people don't think about these things until it's too late. And I think that crypto really needs to marry the two together so that we can kind of get on those other good sides of those people that wait when it's too late. You know what I'm saying? Like get them involved, make it usable, make it something that they're used to. Just that's really, for me, user experience. For me, that's where I stand because I've been in crypto now for well over a year. And the user experience, in my opinion, is what scares most people away. It's just it's not friendly for the average person.
I'm going to have to double down on that and retract my previous statement. I agree with you. I think, UI and ease of use for sure, as far as not being afraid of the way it looks. You're right.
Well, so I've only been in it since, I mean, I was interested in it, but I invested, what was it, September? So I'm coming up on a year. But how, for you two, I don't know how long, much farther than a year you've been, has the user interface changed at all? Has the UI experience gotten any better? Or is it exactly the same pretty much than it was a year ago?
Except for like minor projects, let's say like, and this is like totally like not necessarily relatively important, but like for Syscoin or like Particle or projects that give you like a username that's attached to your wallet so you can search someone's name and send them funds. That's one time where I've been like, wow, this is like really useful. This totally would catch on. But outside of that, no, I haven't seen. I mean, I started in, I think, October of 2017. I don't really know. I got to look back and see. But no, I mean, it really hasn't changed that much as far as making it less intimidating.
Yeah, actually, that's a really good question, Danny. And I would have to say it hasn't changed much for me at all. In fact, I still use the same things I used last year. I still use my Ether wallet as my portal into my my Ethereum wallet. I still use my Neon wallet for Neo. And I mean, Steemit was around last year, so really we've seen a lot of promises of innovation. I don't think we've seen it yet, and I think that also has a lot to do with the decline. I think last year there were a lot of white paper promises, like I like to put it, and we didn't really deliver on a lot of the stuff we said we were going to, and it really discouraged people, and people started asking the question, what the hell am I buying? Why am I putting my hard-earned money into this? What are you guys doing? You're essentially creating a problem that doesn't exist, and then you're not even solving it. That's like a double slap in the face. So,
somebody in my comments said, well, Bittrex looks a little bit different. I think they made it look worse, honestly. I don't like the new UI.
They added dark mode.
Yeah, and moved some stuff around.
Congratulations. Yeah.
I haven't used Bittrex since...
I don't use it anymore.
I think the last time I used Bittrex, I think I was buying Neo when it was still called Ant Shares. That's how long ago I was. Yeah, that was a while ago I used Bittrex.
Yeah, that was like last May or before that, April.
Yeah,
maybe.
Yeah.
No, it was like around May for me. That was when I was buying it. Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't used Bittrex since they were the first ones to cut off new users. And then as soon as they did that, there was no new money. The liquidity went way down, and people just started swapping money back and forth from coins. I'm like, I'm out of here. I'm going to Binance because this is way better.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not that good with TA like you are, Danny, but I will say that I have noticed recently the volumes have picked up a little bit, and that kind of made me
Yeah, they
happy.
have.
That's showing there's actually trading going on for a change. So that was kind of a good thing. I'm not now. Are we going to freaking 20K tomorrow? I don't know, but the volume did come back, so that was kind of a good
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, so my general rule of thumb is if we are at the 5% volume level, 5% volume as a percentage of total market cap, we can kind of hang around the same level. If the volume starts to dip and the price starts going up, get ready because something's not going to hold for very long. But if the volume starts going up and the price starts going up, then I get excited.
Yeah.
But that 5% level historically has been like spot on. You can kind of hang out for a little while. That's what I look at least. Maybe I'm freaking so wrong, but that's from my experience what I've seen.
Well, you would know better than we would. I mean, I always figured, yeah, volume, trading volume, but even still when like I tried to really understand that stuff, it was a little bit over my head. I could never really get like the patterns and whatnot. But trading volume makes sense. I mean, if there's volume and things are moving, it means people are on it and there's liquidity. So that's a pretty easy concept.
Yeah.
You know who actually taught me a lot about how to kind of read volume, just not not long term, but kind of on the daily is actually Crypto Bud. I know you guys do you know who Crypto Bud is?
Yeah.
Yep.
We were at NAC3 and I pulled him aside and I was like, yo man, just show me, what are you looking at when you're trading? And he gave me examples and stuff like that. So I got excited today. For example, I don't know if you guys saw, obviously I hold Icon. I'm very transparent about that. And the volume on Icon was massive today. I mean, it was like we hadn't seen volume in Icon like this in almost over a month. So that for me says people are interested. People are definitely trading. They're getting back into it. Like you said, I think we are looking for that catalyst. And I agree with you as well, Danny, and everyone in the chat that also said ETFs. I think ETFs.
Yeah, I got that over here too.
ETFs are going to be a big catalyst. Absolutely. Then after
ETFs
that, I don't
are
know.
the way.
After that, I don't know. Then it's just I hope everybody's on board.
Then it's fair game. Who knows?
I say a lot. I have said it a lot. I haven't really said it publicly that much, but I've been thinking about where's my place in this whole thing? And people are so focused on mass adoption. And one thing I think is kind of missing, we're not even at mass adoption. We need to be at mass education first.
Yeah.
We got to jump that hurdle before everybody can actually use it because people don't even know what it is. So that's something interesting that I think people need to take a step back and say, okay, we got to learn what it is first. And projects have to figure out that making short-term money is not the answer for long-term adoption. Like we were talking about, the user interface hasn't changed in 18 months almost. Well, whose fault is that? It's the project's fault. They realize they can make a crap load of money just pop a white paper in an ICO and cash in. Well, nobody won except for them. And I think it's showing in the market sentiment right now.
Yeah, that's why people hate ICOs. There was a long period of time where I wouldn't even talk about them on my channel. I just absolutely refused to talk about ICOs. Now I do talk about them, but I think it's because I've had the opportunity to meet some of these guys face to face now.
Yeah.
And they, there really are great startups now. And the problem is we kind of had the carriage ahead of the horse last year. We were trying to solve problems that we didn't really have the tech for yet. But now that we're able to kind of build on top of these, because, it's all open source. So everybody is able to kind of build on top of where other people may have failed. And the one thing I can say is that I think there's always going to be scam ICOs. But some of these newer startups are actually really good. And I think they're going to do very well. So in a strange way, I could see 2018 being like a redemption for ICOs in the sense of like, we're going to actually have some, we've already had some good ones. I mean, Zilliqa did very well. Yeah. Ontology did very well. So we are seeing them, but it's unfortunately,
Quark Chain did really well.
Yeah.
It is doing really. That's a great project, man. Jeez, that's a good project.
Quark Chain and IOTEX are both getting a lot of flack right now. And I actually did an interview with IOTEX, and some people were like, why did you do this? Why are you getting involved with these guys? Well, one of the main reasons was, one, I wanted to actually talk to them about this newer token model, which is what a lot of ICOs are doing right now. They're doing really, really, really long lockup periods now for seed rounds. Some people, you're not even able to, you can't even dump it on the exchange for up to a year, So they're really protecting the investors. And what's interesting is if you look at what happened with both Quark Chain and IOTEX, they totally slammed down. I mean, they were sitting at their all-time lows since they came out.
Yeah.
But yet the investors of the ICOs were still up 6x, 7x, right? So they're protecting the investors, which I know the average user doesn't like that. They're not into that. I would be pissed too. But I had a discussion with Bite Size Capital. I don't know if you're familiar with them. Anyway, it's these two brothers. They run an account, really, really great, really in depth, and they were basically telling me, as a startup, you have to protect your investors, and this is something that we don't appreciate as the people that buy it secondary on the exchange, right? But in reality, it's that money that was given to them initially that was actually funding the projects themselves. So they kind of owe it to the investors to secure and make their investments safe, I guess, what I'm trying to say. So I don't hate these models, but at the same time, I hope that people realize, I've said this about 100 times, when an ICO or a project comes out on the exchange, just give it a second. Just see what's going on, because you have market makers coming in. I can list it if I'm the first guy to list it, right? And I have a massive bag. If I bought the ICO for 5 cents, I could literally put that for 50 cents if I want to start the sell, right? So a lot of these ICOs, you'll see them either go all the way up. For example, Elastos did that, where it went all the way up, or you'll see some just drop right down. And those poor people that were buying that all the way down. So just be patient. Allow the coins to kind of find their price discovery. So that's my advice. Don't jump into an ICO as soon as it hits the exchange. I've seen time and time again, that's like the best way to get burned. So
I also think, like, in speaking in what you said about protecting investors, people also have to realize that, investors found the project from early on and are betting quite a bit on it. And although, maybe it's unfair that they're trying to protect them in a way, but they are, like you said, funding the project. They're helping to support it. They believe in it, and they don't want these people to get burned necessarily when they're taking a risk on them. So, and obviously the average person doesn't have, millions to invest in one of these startup projects. So I think we all have to be kind of a little bit understanding about that. But no, and you're right about waiting for things to hit exchanges, because then a lot of times things will dip. The running joke for a while with the ICO is wait till after it hits an exchange, then buy it, because then it'll dip and then it will spike. So you just gotta have a little faith and keep an eye on it and not be so impulsive.
It's the same chart every single time.
It's almost the same thing. And unless you know the details of what the private pre-sale price was with bonuses and discounts, don't even buy it until it levels out, because that'll kind of tell you where the true value is. If you know those, fine. If you don't, which most people don't, I wouldn't even worry about it.
Yeah. No. Oh, no, my chat's being funny right now. No, I didn't say go all in on an ICO when it comes out. Stop crypto ace. Also, Dr. Ed is in the chat right now. I got to meet him face to face, so that's the really cool thing when you get to go to these conferences. All these names that you always see in your chat, you get to actually meet people. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
So what's up, Dr. Ed? Just gotta
say. Javier Gonzalez has an interesting question. He says, do you guys believe that the SEC is going to come out with a list of securities once Coinbase, Binance, Circle, and Gemini all acquire their licenses? That's interesting. I haven't even thought about that ever.
Won't they have to?
You would think so.
If they get their licenses and they're approved that by the SEC is going to have to start categorizing things that are allowed to be on those exchanges that are approved, right? So I guess inevitably, I don't really know.
That's what I was thinking. I guess they kind of have to. I guess you're right. Like, it wouldn't make sense not to. It would be
What would be the point of giving someone a license if it's not going to be regulated what's on the site?
Yeah.
There's a bug.
Oh, that was...
I've got something flying around.
Regulation. Get away. Regulation. Get away. Somebody should have edited that with a regulation word popping around by your hands.
I do hope that somebody does do that. If anybody has any editing skills, please feel free to make that meme for me.
Yeah, absolutely. I actually had a bug flying around here before too. That's but getting back to that, Danny, that's one of the reasons why I wanted to actually, I thought it'd be cool to have you on the stream, because I think you're a lot more knowledgeable when it comes to things like that with the SEC and what they're going to do. I don't know, and I feel like maybe I should spend time focusing on it, but I'll be honest, I don't. I just figure they're going to do what they're going to do anyway. So I just, I trade, I hold, I do what I got to do, and they'll let us know. We'll know,
Yeah, we'll know.
Yeah, we'll definitely know.
I'm already a U.S. citizen, so I feel like I don't know. I'm always afraid everything I'm doing is illegal. Like, am I even allowed to have a crypto YouTube channel? Are you guys okay with that, or is that illegal? Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
So
I know.
Is it weird to have these is this plugged into the computer? Am I good?
Yeah.
Is the FBI, have you seen those FBI memes where they'll say
Yeah.
something on the computer and then a Twitter chat will pop up or something? It's like, no, get off that website from the FBI.
Yeah. That's funny. That reminds me of I saw a meme too where it was like in the 1950s. It was like, hey, get off the phone. It may be wiretapped. And now it's like, hey, it's like, hey, wiretap. Does Amazon have what I need? Like, it's like basically like Siri. Like it's like before you used to like be so scared, and now it's just like everything's connected, everything's recorded. So
I know, no kidding.
Absolutely.
That's funny.
So
all right, so I'm gonna screen share quick and do this raffle before I forget.
Yeah, crap, do it. I'm gonna drink. This is how I cope with the crypto market right now.
There you go.
There you go.
The application.
Why not?
I will be in your boat as soon as we end the live stream, because I'm actually
there we go.
I'm actually going to the beach tomorrow, guys. But I will do a How many Hawaiian shirts do I have, Johnny? Well, you're just gonna have to keep watching the channel to find out.
Is that Johnny B?
Johnny Santiago.
Dang it.
Yeah. He asked
I know it's random.
Well, he asked my opinion on I don't know if it's Argo or Ergo, you know, that ICO that's coming out. Data fuel for the blockchain.
Data. More data.
Yeah, well, sort of, yeah. But I've been looking at this project for quite some time. I just don't I haven't made a review or anything on it because I want to dive into it a little bit more. You know, before, I don't like to just because it's like a hot topic, I don't want to just talk about it just because it's like popular. Mm-hmm. The other thing too is, you know, I was looking at this before Ian Bellina was, and Ian Bellina, he recently came out with like everybody's got to go in and buy Ergo. I think it's a great project. I'm not 100% fan of, you know, when he shills stuff, because it just, I don't know, gives it a bad name, but I still think it's a great project. So I do plan on. What's up?
No, did you hear he found out information about who supposedly hacked his account? Did you see that?
Really?
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Yeah, he said it was some hacker group that had hacked exchanges and stuff in the past, and if you had any more information, email him at ianbellina88@gmail. I'm going to make an account ianbellina888@gmail just to see if people email me on accident.
I'm sure they will.
What's actually kind of funny is I mean, I would never disclose this because these are people my friends or other people I know, but you know how you get those emails all the time getting you to like do sponsored content? I know you get them. You're a YouTuber, right? All the time. I get like 10 of them a day. You know, talk about this, talk about this. What's funny is I got this one, and it was a group message that was sent to like 25 other YouTubers, which I'm not going to name. And some of them started responding back, not realizing that they actually had they had everybody. They were doing reply alls.
Oh no!
So like, I got a list of like all the popular YouTubers' prices for what they do sponsored content for. God. Yeah. So that was pretty interesting.
Oh my God! If I had 8 hands, it would be facepalm just all over.
I mean, obviously, I will. I'm not going to share that content, but it's just crazy. I'm like, damn, he's really getting that much. Yeah, I must be doing something wrong over here. So,
yeah, we need to be less agreeable.
I need to start doing some sponsored content. I'm the idiot over here.
Yes.
So, Candor, are we doing this wallet giveaway or what? I think people.
Yeah, well, you guys were chatting it up. I didn't want to interrupt.
All right, so Candor's giving away a wallet on her channel, but unfortunately, I think
it's not full.
Yeah.
All right, ready, guys? Let's see. I think I just clicked this.
Let's do it. Let's see who the winner is.
Whoever this is. Not sure what to put here, but sub bed as okay. Well, I'm going to screenshot this. Lincoln Murr, Bird Bamboo. If you're on the live stream, you won, and if you're not, I will email you. And yeah, it'll give you 24 hours to get it. If you don't get it 24 hours, then we will re-raffle.
Awesome. So congratulations to whoever just won that wallet.
Yep.
Bird Bamboo 22.
How do you like the wallet? Have you tried it out, the cool wallet? Is it?
Yeah, honestly, I think it's really cool. I like the concept. It's like basically a credit card that I can send and receive most major cryptocurrencies on it. And it's the size of a credit card, so it stays in your wallet. So, like, if I'm out and I want to send you Bitcoin because you bought me a beer or something, I don't have to, like, go on Mew, and I don't have to have it attached to anything else. It's got its own app. It's got everything. So I can just like use it like a credit card, kind of like almost like Venmo or PayPal. I thought it was really neat.
That's interesting. I wonder why they
I saw your video and I thought I was like, yeah, that's actually a really good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just simple. I mean, I wouldn't leave like a lot of Bitcoin or ETH on it, but like if you're going somewhere with your friends and like you all use crypto and you guys are going to be spending it or using it for stuff, it's cool to just have it kind of hanging out in the wallet. And it really is just as thin as a credit card, which I liked.
Absolutely. That's awesome. So, yeah, guys, I don't know. Is there any, what else you guys feeling today? I mean, kind of a chill day, even with the chat. Chat's not really too aggressive tonight. Everyone's just relaxing. I think we're just,
mine either.
We're just happy to see a little bit of green, you know? I mean,
I'm cool with that. I'm not mad about that.
Yeah, me too.
So, yeah, guys, I don't know. Is that, it's been an hour. I don't know what else is really going on. I mean, we can.
Yeah, I mean, if unless you guys have something to talk about, I can certainly go to sleep. My air conditioning is on in my room, and it is 900 degrees where I'm sitting right now. So I'm ready to go in the AC.
Mine does the same exact thing. I need to put a sensor in this room so it starts like filtering air down on me or something.
Hold on real quick. Kiko Suave says, I'm disappointed not one of you three will answer the questions. How do you invest in the companies? What do you mean by that?
What companies?
How do I invest in?
Yeah, I've got actually have 7 follow-up questions. What companies? Define invest. What tokens? Like, there's a bunch of questions about that. We'll answer whatever you want, but
yeah. Well, somebody wants me to. Somebody on my chat says that that talk is boring and I should shill some coins. So fine, I'll go to CoinMarketCap right now and I'll start at the top and I'll tell you exactly what coins I would and wouldn't buy. How's that?
I got one guy said, "Keep talking. Sleep is for the weak."
Hey, I like it.
Hey guys, they can't all be the most. I mean, what do you want? Like, okay, let's see here. Going down from the top. If I would share my screen if I could.
Somebody wants to know, Danny, what kind of wine you're drinking.
Oh God, I don't even remember. It's alcoholic. That's all I know.
Oh, there you go. All right. So
it's
Francisco,
not barefoot and it's white.
Oh, I don't know. That's a good question. How? No. Bargain.
No, it's not.
Bargain. Yeah.
Fuck it. I'm not a wino. I don't know these things.
Me either.
So, for example, they were like, "How do you invest in Ripple and not XRP?" Because they're not the same. Like, can you invest in Ripple, the company?
I don't think you can.
No.
Pretty sure it's a private company.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's not a publicly traded company.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, that's a good question.
I don't know. So let's see coins that I would be looking at from my perspective. I'll give you guys a quick rundown. I got my second computer over here. So just to give you coins that I really, really like, obviously I think Bitcoin is the greatest coin in the world because it'll never die. Litecoin's pretty cool. Cardano, Neo. I think exchange tokens that are legit like Binance, Ontology, Icon, Zilliqa, 0x. Nano's pretty cool. Basic attention token, Wand Chain. By the way, Nebulous, guys. Nebulous is something you should keep your eyes on. A lot of projects I've been talking to have actually been moving or starting to utilize Nebulous. Like I've been talking.
I think that's the one I'm reviewing or I'm doing research on right now.
Yeah, I spoke to Deep Cloud AI. They were building on top of Nebulous, and I spoke to Tenzorum, and they've been talking to a lot of people they know are also looking into Nebulous. So that's just something I don't talk about. I did a review on it a while ago, so keep your eye on that.
I'm like halfway through a review, the write-up for a review on that.
Loopring.
So strange interjection. I used my computer, which is much smaller. You can invest or could have invested in Ripple, the company. They had a Series B round in 2016 and raised $380 million. So you'd have had to have been a VC to invest in Ripple, the company. It would have been just like any other company. So
they raised $380 million for their private company, and then they raised how much money through
on their IPO?
Making a coin. Because they hold 65% of Ripple, so how much are they holding?
Yeah, they raised 380 mil. Wow. Okay, so I mean, I covered this a couple months ago, but Ripple was actually hit with a class action lawsuit over a never-ending ICO, supposedly, which is kind of what it is. I mean, if you think about it.
Well, technically, Bitcoin is a never-ending ICO. I mean, the miners are still getting rewarded. I mean, technically. So, all right.
Yeah.
I've had a bunch of people. And yes, I do read the chat. A lot of people are asking about Digibyte. Do you guys know much about that? I've looked into it a while ago.
I'm not. So I had like a wave of people asking me. Honestly, I didn't do a ton of research, but what it seems like is just basically like Dash without the privacy feature. Pretty much.
That's what I think it is. With the Digi ID stuff is pretty cool, but I have people that, I mean, there's guys that are just mindlessly I don't want to say shilling, but they just every single post, it's not even related to Digibyte at all, and it's like, how about Digibyte? Airplane, rocket ship. I'm like, really? What is this?
Yeah.
I mean, I've been
getting that all the time. People get upset with me now because I'm like, I'm not really interested in talking about it. It's like one of those coins that just doesn't really. I don't know. I just never was like, hey, I want to read about it. Yeah.
I should do a Digibyte review. I feel like just bring it back from the graveyard. I remember when I first got into cryptocurrencies, this was before I even had a YouTube channel. I used to actually listen to Supoman a lot. I don't know if anyone else is guilty of this, but you know, listen, as much as he's a shiller or whatever, he's got that like super infectious, like,
oh, he's hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, like, you know, and when I first got into crypto, I used to listen to a lot of Supoman, and I remember for like the first 2 months, he was like so Digibyte, like Digibyte this and Digibyte that, and then Digibyte just tanked, and then eventually, but so
apparently it like really ate crap, like the price like went bad.
Well, they had that thing a while ago where they were going to be in Minecraft, right? It was going to be a mineable. That was their whole thing. Is you were going to mine Digibyte in Minecraft, and then they had some kind of there was a big award. What was it? Chase? Was it Chase or some kind of I can't remember. Some kind of an award. A while ago.
I don't know. I don't remember.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know. I'm not going to take a stance on Digibyte. I haven't looked into it in quite a long time. I would say months. So maybe I do owe it to everyone to kind of do a little bit of a revisit, but I really can't speak too much on it right now, unfortunately. So
I mean, I did a video a day for 140 something days straight and didn't do a video on Digibyte because there's just there's so much to talk about.
Well, the thing for me is like, I have no poker face. If I don't like what I'm talking about, I'm not interested in the project. Like, you will tell that I'm not like enthused, and I won't ever get through the research or the write-up or any of the stuff that I do like for preemptive work. So for me, a lot of it's like, okay, I ask people for their input because I want advice, like maybe coins I haven't heard of before. But just because you tell me I'm going to cover something doesn't mean I'm going to. And also, like, there's just like a lot of like Dash. Like, I'm probably never going to go over Dash because everybody knows about Dash. Nothing really new is going. Like, it doesn't pique my interest enough to make a video on it. You know what I mean? Like, it's something against the project. I just don't really care to do anything.
Yeah, I hear that. And you kind of feel like at this point people know these coins, you know, there's so much content on them. There's one project that I wanted to kind of revisit because I think it's extremely undervalued, and that's Komodo. I don't know if you guys have looked into Komodo.
Yes.
Komodo is a great platform. I don't know why people don't. Well, I guess I don't really talk about it either, so I'm guilty. But it's a very, very good platform. I mean, it's so secure. It's so secure.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
actually got the most active GitHub contribitors on it out of all the blockchain projects.
Yeah, and it syncs with the Bitcoin blockchain. I don't know the specific terminology, but it's like every 10 minutes it does something where it backs up to the Bitcoin. I don't know. I got to go into more research, but
I don't know either.
Yeah, I really think one of these days I'm either going to reach out to the Komodo team or I'm just going to do an updated review, because I actually can see Komodo being a long-term project in this space for quite some time. I just think right now they don't really get a lot of exposure, so maybe I should start talking about Komodo and give them this.
Well, that's like Blocknet.
Yes.
Blocknet has very kind of similar thought process of being a decentralized exchange and interoperability, and like nobody really heard about them until like their X router came out, but I'd been like pro Blocknet since like pretty much when I got into crypto, and nobody knew about the project. So I think Komodo is just another one that's good but doesn't get any hype, unfortunately.
Right.
Agreed.
Exactly.
Agreed.
So, guys, been awesome. I think that is a good. Yeah, I could tell that I have to say, guys, the chat tonight has been quite interesting. It's been a really interesting mix of people. few trolls in the chat, some old school.
Yeah, I've had a couple trolls, and I've had a lot of people just talking amongst themselves and not asking me questions, which was strange.
I think people.
Same here.
I think some people misconstrue the fact that if I don't talk about something, that means that I don't like it or that I'm ignorant. It's just that, you know, it's really easy to have an opinion on that end, but when I have a channel that people watch, I can't just say stuff about things that I don't know. Understand that. Inevitably, you know, and I'm only one person. I do try my best, guys. So,
yeah, and I also, I'd like to remind the new people that are on my channel, I have a full-time job. I work 40 hours a week at a hospital. So all the content I make is literally, I get home from work, I eat dinner, and I make stuff until 10, 11 o'clock at night all week and on the weekend. So I do my very best to make as much. If I didn't have a job, trust me, I'd be making like 2 videos a day if I had it by the choice that I wanted to make it, but I don't. So I have to prioritize my time for content. So sorry.
You had a great Elastos video though, Candor.
Thank you. I worked hard.
I actually think
round of applause.
I think your video is better than my video. Honestly, I do.
Why would you say that though?
Because it is. I just feel like you just, the way you explained it, you know, I have to get like how you do it, where you align all the information. It's just, when I do reviews, it's just me sitting in front of a computer going through the white paper.
I literally have a Trello, which is attached to my Discord so people can access it now. And for each, like for my reviews, for my ICOs, for my comparison videos, I have a list of things that I go through to make sure that I have for every single solitary video. I have like a write-up to like make it structured so that they're all identical, because otherwise I'd forget stuff and then I'd lose it because I'd forget it and I'd want to re-record the whole video.
It's tough.
Yeah, that's my life.
Very professional.
OCD.
I'm the same way. I sit in front of a computer. I just go through the white paper with my face on the bottom right. I go through the white paper, website, team, roadmap, tokenomics, stumble a little bit, don't edit it, and post it.
Yeah. What are you going to do? All right, guys. Well,
time for bed.
Yeah, you guys have been awesome. Thanks to everybody that came out for the chat. We have 165 people in my chat. We only have 79 likes. Maybe smash up the likes, guys, right before you go.
Yeah, guys, hit me with some like buttons and subscribes. And go follow Danny and go follow K-Dub if you haven't.
Everybody follow everybody. You guys are awesome. Everybody. You guys are awesome. So thank you so much again.
Circle of
fun. Yo, Danny.
You guys have a great night.
It was really awesome, man. I definitely want to get up with you again.
Yeah, man.
Really, really appreciate it.
Yeah, 100%.
Awesome.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me on.
Yes, thank
Toodles.
you. Thank you, everybody. Talk to you later.
See ya.